With the undeniable success of the first Spider-Man game for the PlayStation 4, it's undeniable that surely a sequel is coming in the near future. So what will the plot be? I've taken my knowledge of the franchise as well as the characters and story from the first game, and I've tried to apply it to create a plot for the sequel. Peter will spend the entire game teaching Miles the importance of responsibility. Electro will escape from the raft with the assistance of Otto on the condition that he attacks Norman Osborn's hotel. Peter decides to turn off all the generators. It's Miles' job to reactivate the generator, but he's too late. During that power outage, Norman had to cure Harry, or Venom would kill him. So Norman gives himself Devil's Breath, which was the big climax of the first game, and his new attempt at a cure. Results will show that his cure does work. So, he'll release Venom and cure Harry. Now Norman will then immediately fall and collapse to the floor. The combination of the new cure and Devil's Breath is a Goblin Serum. With the door open, Venom will crawl out and latch onto Peter. Peter is scared of the symbiote, but Miles tells him not to worry because it's just a power bonus. Miles and Peter will discover that someone's been leaking Proto-Goblin Serum across New York, causing all of them to be affected and to work for this new villain called the Goblin. Venom will begin to influence Peter. Miles is scared of Peter, but Peter's too addicted to the power to let go. During a cutscene to end off the first act, Venom will take full control over Peter. Peter will occasionally call MJ or Miles to taunt them, but by listening carefully, they are able to triangulate his position. Just in time, too. Because as Miles finds Venom, Venom is about to kill Wraith, also known as Yuri Watanabe. Miles is able to hold off Venom just long enough to save Yuri. To end the fight, Miles will charge towards Venom, and he'll duck underneath it, but a charge of electricity will form in Miles' hands to strike down Venom. Venom will rush off, leaving Peter behind. Norman, who is planning to intervene as the Goblin and kill Venom, Miles, and Yuri, saw the fight unfold and plans to use Miles' Venom Strike to gain power by morphing his young mind to obey him.
I will find a cure.
Norman will begin to teach Miles how to control the Venom Strike. At the very end of Act 2, Miles will have to escape from the Goblin, and the only way to do so is to turn invisible with his active camo ability. While it's mostly unpredictable, I'd like Peter Parker to die just before the final fight. The reason is because he dies in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics while Miles is watching. That's the universe where Miles becomes Spider-Man. Peter would die and there'd be a cutscene featuring Miles distraught about his failure, only to be reassured that MJ that he did his best and only escaped because he finally gained control of his active camo. In the final fight, there's a climactic moment where Miles discovers that Norman is the Goblin, and tries to use Harry to talk sense into him. However, this won't work, so now Miles as Spider-Man has to fight the Goblin while protecting someone with no powers. This will only make him feel the need for responsibility even more, because he failed to protect Peter, who had powers. But ultimately, by the end of the fight, he was able to protect Harry, with none. During this final scene, which will play very similarly to the current scene playing, which looks very cinematic, he'll be yelling at Norman about how the death of Spider-Man is his fault, because he failed to reactivate the power at Norman's apartment, which is meant to mirror that the first game only took place because Peter put Fisk behind bars, and that's what caused the entire first game to happen. After the fight, Harry, who heard all of Miles' rant against Norman, will console him and let him know that Peter would be proud of him.